Welcome to Dutch Video Shooter. My name is Victor Bart and today I go to the Professional Imaging Expo here in the Netherlands. It's a small expo focused on photography, but I'm gonna check out what awesome gear they have that you really need to check out in 2019. It will be cameras, lenses, microphones, on-camera monitors and all accessoires I could find. And maybe I missed some really cool, awesome products. So it's not on the show, or I couldn't find it, or I don't think it's cool. I see a lot of old people here, so maybe they should market this show also to the younger audience. Here we have the Sony A6400 with the flip-up screen, and this one has a small rig bracket for the microphone. And they are also now designing an even smaller bracket that goes on top. And now you have the microphone on the side, and that's a much more usable camera now for vlogging with good sound. The only thing what I don't like about the flip-up screen is that you can't use it with one finger. The hinge mechanism is a bit more difficult than a flip-out screen to the side. So we have here the Canon Rp. And it's a very affordable full-frame camera with a flip-out screen, but the 4K is very crippled, like no 24 frames per second, also no dual pixel autofocus. So as a full HD camera, it's fine, but as a 4K vlogging camera, this is not the right one. But they also have the normal R here. So here we have the R, also with a flip-out screen and more 4K options, but still with a crop on 4K. But both are nice cameras, but not for me, because I like to have a good 4K camera, and if I go full frame, I want to have full frame 4K. Here we have the Olympus AM1X. It's a very high-end mic for third body with a flip-out screen and a mic for third mount, and then the battery grip is like in the body itself. 2 batteries in it, so a very long battery life. A very nice 12-100 f4 lens, so good reach and still pretty lightweight for a size like this, and good for travel. The video function is 4K up to 30 frames per second. Too bad they didn't put in 60 frames per second, but they have now an Olympus log, so it's getting very nice, this camera. So this is a mock-up of the 150-400mm zoom lens, and it's pretty big, but it has a built-in teleconverter. And it is an f4.5 lens. So I'm really curious how this lens will be. And they also gonna make a 2x teleconverter which is compatible with this lens. So this is the biggest mic for third lens so far. And a lot of function buttons here on the side and a tripod collar. So for wildlife, this will be a very interesting lens. Look at this very big mount and very big full frame sensor. Nikon has the biggest mount on the current market for full frame. So here we have the Nikon C6 with a nice new 24-70 f2.8 lens. And it's a pretty nice combination, but the screen at the back is not a flip screen. For vlogging it's not the best option, but with the HDMI out to an Atomos recorder you have raw video. So that's a quite interesting camera that you have raw video. So I think this is a really good Nikon camera, but the card slot is XQD instead of an SD card slot, so that's more expensive. So I'm here on the Aperture booth, and they also have the DT microphones here. So here we have the DTS mic. It's an XLR microphone, just like the Rode NG2 or Sennheiser shotgun mics. So this is a really nice high quality shotgun mic. And here we have the Day 3. It's the normal one, and it's pretty affordable. And right now you are also listening to this microphone. And it's an on-camera microphone that automatically turns on. So for making vlogs, this is a really nice affordable option. And here we have the DT D3 Pro. And here on the back we have a volume knob, so you can easily adjust the gain and a pass-through filter and a USB charge and an internal battery. And it's also a shotgun mic just like the D3. And here the most excited product from DT. They are bringing out wireless microphones, and this is the receiver and 2 transmitters in the pack and XLR cables and the microphones itself. And this one will retail for €5.99 excluding VAT. And here on the receiver you can set all the settings and it will automatically transfer to the transmitters, so you don't have to fiddle around with transmitters if you have it on your model. Here we have the new aperture MW, and this LED light is waterproof. I think you can go up to 10 meters underwater, and it is bicolor and dimmable and internal battery and light effects. So this is a really awesome on-camera mic or effect light, or you can do really amazing things with this light. So I'm now by the Panasonic booth, and this is the S1R. This is the high megapixel camera from the S series, and I really like these cameras. The S1 is more focused on video, and the S1R is the high megapixel version, and this is a very big 50mm f1.4 and it's a no compromise lens. So they just made the best lens they could make. So it's pretty big, but the lens has a manual focus clutch. So you can do really proper manual video focus with this one, and also the aperture ring on the lens. So this is a really proper 50mm Pro lens. And the batteries are really big. Only the screen is not a flip screen, but this awkward screen that you can flip out. One of the reasons that they made this screen is that they say that it is much stronger than a flip out screen, and you can lift the camera with this screen without breaking it off. This is the new Shinobi monitor from Atomos. It's the same display as the recorders, but no recording option, just a monitor and a single HDMI and a headphone jack, Sony batteries or a battery plate. And here on the side a remote port and an SD card slot for loading in LUTs. Here we have the Rode Podcaster Pro, and it is an all-in-one solution to make your podcasts. So you can directly attach the microphones and USB ports and everything you need. And here we have the Rode PodMic, and it's quite an affordable podcast microphone. So maybe this is a future option for my podcast. I found a 4mm fisheye lens. Let's try it on the camera. I'm now testing out the Laowa 4mm f2.8 fisheye lens, and it's really extreme and wide, and it's a brand new lens on the market. It's like a pre-production model, so it looks really weird. Lol, 3mm is really wide. If I put my hand on the hand grip, you can see my fingers.
Ja, het ziet er wel cool uit, moet ik zeggen.
Ik weet niet hoe praktisch dit nou is, maar het is wel leuk dat het er is. En volgens mij ben je nu ook in mijn vlog.
Nou, kijk eens aan. Hey, hartstikke mooi. Zo, dag mensen, Gijs Koning hier van de Fotografie podcast. En ik sta hier met Victor.
Here we have the Fuji X-H1, and it shoots 4K 30 frames per second, and you need a battery grip to get all the video functions out of it. But now they have the Fuji X-T3 and it shoots 4K 60 frames per second. Internal, also cinema 4K, a lot of video options. So maybe this is one that you can consider for video. But the camera doesn't have a flip out screen. Only just a foldable screen like this.
Hij staat aan.
Ja.
Oh, hij staat aan.
It's still working, the camera. So these are my highlights of the Professional Imaging Expo. The shows focused on photography, so there were no Blackmagic pocket cameras, no Setcam E2s, which both are really interesting cameras for video. But Canon had their C200 and C100 with them, but for the rest there were no cinema cameras, also no cinema lenses. Sigma didn't even have a 1L mount lens, so it was not really a show with new highlights, but more what's on the current market. And a big thanks to Aperture Europe that I could borrow a DT3 microphone to test out on the expo. The sound on the expo was not really that good because it is really noisy and a shotgun microphone doesn't work that well on the show like that. So that's not a good test, because on a show like that you can better have a good hand microphone, so it only takes the sound from here instead of all around. But I think the microphone sounds really great, and on the Sony booth there were skateboarders and music playing in the background, and I was really thinking, oh, I think I ruined the whole audio, but it was still usable. I even took later the day a second take, but I just used a noisy take and it was fine for this video. The two highlights for me was the Panasonic S1 and the Rode Spot mic. But I couldn't wait with ordering a Rode Spot mic because DT teased a podcast microphone. So I first want to know what that microphone is and what that will bring to the market before I can order it. But the pod mic is just above 100 euros, so that's really affordable. The Panasonic S1 with the new L-mount lenses is really great, but also really expensive, because they really made the best camera they could make. But I was trying to shoot with it, but the camera that I had a pre-release firmware, so the autofocus and the face recognition was not always working as it should. Luckily they ship out with a much better firmware. So I don't know why they put pre-release firmwares on the show to demo the camera. That's a little bit strange. On the expo you can also buy gear with discounts. So they had a 10% discount on Panasonic lenses. So I bought a new lens. And this is the second last lens I'm gonna buy for Micro Four Third. Because the last lens I'm gonna buy is the Panasonic 10-25 f1.7, but I think that lens will be on the market like end of this year. So what did I buy? I bought the Panasonic Leica 100-400. It's an f4 to a 6.3 lens and it's now mounted on my GH3. But I think for the price, the weight, the size, the reach, no other system comes close to what this lens has to offer for shooting wildlife. Only one downside with this lens, that it is not compatible with a teleconverter. So 400mm is the longest reach you have. I'm really looking forward to shoot photos and videos with this lens, because I already own the 100-300 lens and I really enjoyed shooting with this one on a holiday. So this one has even better reach, it's better optically. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video, subscribe and leave a comment. And if you want to support my channel, I have Amazon affiliate links down in the description.